Hey guys, welcome back. It's Cynicalex, and today we're going to take a break from scumbagging and guides to just give you my thoughts on the interim 2.3 patch that's coming out next week. Okay, so this is just a video about my thoughts and opinions about what's coming next for Netmarble and Marvel Future Fight. So the first big part of the announcement was that we're getting another character who looks like she's going to be a combat character. It's the love child of Peggy Carter and Captain America, in an alternate universe where Captain America was not frozen in ice and Peggy Carter wasn't killed. Now, it's cool, and I always love having more female characters, and the artwork looks bomb for Peggy or Sharon Rogers. But to be honest, guys, I'm a little bit disappointed that they're putting another combat character into the game. As you guys can see, we already have about a third of the characters in the game as combat, so it would be nice if they diversified it a little bit more. But hopefully the other female character that they're hinting at will be Blast or Universal, I guess. But we do also have a lot of Universals. So the biggest part of the announcement, I would say, is that some characters are getting their 6-star skills, and those same characters plus others are getting their Tier 2 advancement. Now, who is getting the 6-star skill love? Well, of course, we have Red Skull, our resident tanning master. We have MODOK, who everyone seems to love over at Netmarble. We have Nebula, who everyone forgot about over at Netmarble. And we have Crossbones. Now, my Crossbones is pretty low level. I didn't invest in him when they had the tokens going on, but I do have some insight into the character. And then finally, Punisher. Hopefully he'll get a uniform sometime, but this one's good for now. And Agent 13, formerly known as Sharon Carter, formerly known as Speed AB Day Clear, formerly known as you need her as your lead to clear because of the skill cooldown. So, what's important about those 6 characters getting their 6-star skills and or Tier 2 advancement? Well, let's break it down. We'll go in reverse from the top. Sharon Carter. What is the character good at? Mild AoE damage and skill cooldown on the leadership, which is pretty much useless these days with cards. Other than that, she's pretty useless. Her damage is among the lowest of all the speed characters, so I don't know what her Tier 2 is going to do, but it's got to come big. It's got to come heavy. They've got to take a huge dump on Agent 13, like a metaphorically positive dump, to get this character anywhere near the other Tier 2 characters. I mean, even Tier 2 characters like Black Panther and Falcon are, in my mind, already better than hers, and I haven't even seen her Tier 2 advancement because her character is just so weak right now. Now, I know my Sharon Carter isn't that well geared, so maybe you will have some white knights who jump out of the woodwork to tell me that Sharon Carter is actually the most OP character and I'm just not using her right. No. Okay, you run her skills, you run her in AB, you run her in World Boss, and even with the skill, they just changed her 5-star skill to give her immunity to all damage, and that's still not enough. Okay, yeah, you can play some, fancy footwork, and you can have this skill triggering all the time to make some hilarious Black Dwarf video where she doesn't get hit. Thank you for the Dimension Rift, where she doesn't get hit by any damage, but her DPS is just so embarrassingly low, she's still useless for all game modes. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Sharon Carter, Agent 13, but honestly, guys, I have very low expectations. Next on the list, we have Punisher, and I'm actually really hyped about Punisher. I think this is a really cool character. I love the way that the show on Netflix has been creating and pushing this character further, so if this game can get closer to that, I'll be more in love than I already am. Punisher is honestly not a bad character. I usually mess with him in co-op where I do my scumbagging, but even in World Boss, he has a good bonus as a striker, and his 6-star skill is good for DPS, and it has a relatively short cooldown. And his uniform gives him an extra DPS boost, similar to Elsa's uniform, so it's pretty hot. Punisher is also pretty easy for newer characters to farm for, so I kind of like him. He's also kind of a pseudo-ranged combat character, which is a bit rare these days. So yeah, I'm curious what they do with Punisher. They could make him a legitimate contender for best Tier 2 combat character if they do something radical. I know we have Moon Knight, I know we have Groot without the uniform and Iron Fist, but I got my hopes up for Punisher, so to speak. Next we got Red Skull. Now, I've heard some people say that Red Skull's got some good DPS if you gear him, but that's a big if. Now, obviously his Cosmic Cube does that big stun, so that's probably his best skill, but he has a boost. He has like a boost on his third skill, which is pretty embarrassing. One thing you guys need to keep in mind for all characters, and I'm including Sharon Carter in this comment, is that even if the character gets a huge DPS bump from their tier 2, if their kit sucks, they're still gonna suck. What I mean by kit is like the way that the skills play out, the way that they're animated, the damage that they do, the peripheral effects that they have, stun, bleed, fear, etc. So if a character's kit sucks, they're still gonna suck. So like for example, Ronin kind of sucked before he got his tier 2 and 6-star skill, but his kit was good. He had a stun, he had a fear, like a pseudo stun, a fear. He had the long range, beam attack. So his kit was pretty good. It was just missing some extra oomph, and that's what he got. But a character like Red Skull, I mean, his first skill is pretty good. His second skill kind of sucks because it brings him in too close. His third skill is terrible. His passive's useless. His leadership's pretty useless. And then his 5-star skill is like, eh. So I don't really see how they could make him into a powerhouse just from this one update. They're going to have to go to wild lengths to do that. I kind of have the same thoughts about MODOK, although MODOK has a much better kit than Red Skull. And this is a perfect example. So MODOK's kit includes, mobility. He does like a speed debuff with this particular uniform on, which I think most people have. So he has a lot more versatility. He's got the long range blast that I think tracks. He's got a much better leadership, and his passive's not that bad. It's not that great, but it's a lot better than Red Skull. So for MODOK, they could bring him up to like B class tier 2 or whatever with an update. We don't have that many strong tier 2 blast characters right now. I mean, Iron Man's okay, War Machine's okay, Wasp is pretty good, but her bios are too hard to farm. So MODOK could be the contender for the best blast character to tier 2 potentially. Then we have Nebula. Honestly, Nebula's only saving grace is that all of her skills are lightning, so it's very easy to ramp her DPS very quickly with Lincoln's leadership and a lightning booster like I have here. What's mine? 14%. That's pretty pathetic. But yeah, if you get like a 60% lightning booster, it'd be pretty easy to ramp up her DPS to pretty respectable levels. But similar fashion to Red Skull, her kit is kind of bad. All of her attacks have long animations like Gamora's, and they're all close range. And she's not a tanky character, so unless they add a lot of tankiness to her with like guaranteed dodge, she's not going to be very good. I will hold my final opinion until they get released, but I'm just giving you guys what I'm anticipating based on the canvas that they've painted for us so far. Similarly, guys, I don't have Crossbones in any way, shape, or form leveled, but when we go into preview skill, we can see just how pedestrian he is, to revive that word from a long time ago. His skills are slow, his animations are long, and he doesn't have iframes. Like, okay, first of all, he runs like he's carrying, a pregnant mother on his back. Why are you so slow, dude? Okay, you're supposed to keep up with Cap America. Then let's go through his skills. Okay, there's a bit of movement on that one. That one's not bad, but see, the skill just takes too long. If you're in World Boss, and bosses don't get stunned, and they start going into their ultra or whatever, their big DPS skill, you're stuck going through this animation, or you're stuck canceling through it. Another one, super slow, and just leaves him super vulnerable. Another really slow skill. See, it's 4 hits, but it takes basically 4 seconds for those 4 hits to connect. It's just too slow. 5-star skill, not bad. Again, slow, even slower than Deathlock. To me, this guy seems like a poor man's Deathlock. Like that 6-star skill is just so slow. Are you kidding me? I can buy a coffee while this thing's animating. So, I mean, I don't see them making him anywhere near Iron Fist and Moon Knight, even with his tier 2. What are they going to do? Give him like plus 100% attack speed? Okay, if they gave him like plus 500% attack speed, he'd be pretty dang good. I might invest in him myself. But without that kind of stuff, he's just going to be a garbage tier character, in my opinion. The last part of the update is about a quality of life change for co-op, aka my scumbag mode. Hopefully they don't take the scumbagging out of it, because I know how much you White Knights hate on me when I do that, and I wouldn't want to disappoint you. But maybe they'll make it shorter, so you can get the same amount of rewards, but you only have like 10 entries per day, so you just pick 10 characters. Similar to how they truncated Villain Siege and daily missions. You know, the last time that they truncated co-op, people went into a fit on the Reddit and on Meridium because they didn't boost the rewards. So maybe if they take a similar approach to Villain Siege and they totally bump up the rewards like times 10, and they only give you 10 entries, then it'll be pretty much a safe bet that everyone will love it. I personally would like fewer entries with a heightened reward. I don't honestly have any fun going through this thing with 70 freaking characters, but I do like going through this with like 10 or so characters that I don't usually get to use because they're not strong enough for World Boss, or they're just, you know, not niche enough. They don't fit that build quite yet, but I can still use them to get pretty good DPS in this mode, you know, when I need some extra gold and some extra materials. So that's my review, guys, of the 2.3 patch that's coming up soon. It looks like the secret character that they're hiding from us is going to be Kobik, as someone on the Reddit pointed out. They could be wrong, but I think that might be the case because they're building an alternate reality for this new update where Captain America wasn't frozen in ice, and they kind of need some kind of cosmic character, some kind of mischievous child to set that alternate reality in motion. And who better than you know, the Cosmic Cube. I don't do too much comic book reading, so this is just what I got from the skimming that I did do. But let me know what you guys think about it, and let me know what you guys think about the new patch, and we can discuss it again another time. Thank you for the Dimension Rift, and on that note, I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.